let's ride. Ooh, this is a warm one. I need to open this a bit. Oh, there we go. Well, folks, yeah, sometimes, you know, you just need to get out on the bike, don't you? Clear your head, get a bit of that zen thing going on. Now, I've not done any of these sort of just moto vlogs in a long time. The vids on this channel have just generally all been bike reviews and product reviews and sponsored vids and all that for quite a while now. My general chit chat has sort of been confined to the podcast, and most of you don't watch the podcasts. I know there's quite a lot of you do listen to it, about 10 to 15,000 a month actually, so thank you very much. But as far as watching the vids, a lot of you don't actually watch the vids, so I thought, what better opportunity than at the moment, whilst the sun is out shining, why don't I just jump on the bike, hit the road and have a chit chat with you, let you know what's going on. So if this is your thing, stand by, I'll be back in about 5 seconds. If it's not, enjoy the rest of YouTube. See you shortly, peeps. Down in the dirt. Nationals! So folks, what's been going on? Well, I'm going to have to shut this, aren't I, because of the wind. If you have been listening to the podcast, you'll probably know that this is September and I should be just starting an epic sort of 3-4 week journey all around Scandinavia. It's going to be going with some mates from my old work. Really looking forward to it, but sadly finances, filming commitments have meant I've just not been able to do it, so I had to pull out. The boys left. There's only 3 of the original group are actually setting sail to do it all. They left last night and they've headed off, and I think that's just made me feel a bit meh. So I thought I'd treat myself and just come out on the bike. I wasn't going to bother filming anything, but I thought this is the perfect opportunity to have a little catch up with you. So yeah, I was supposed to be in Scandinavia, however it's not all doom and gloom. Really busy this month in September. The motorbike TV show we've almost completely finished. We've finished all the actual main sort of shoots, and now it's just voiceovers and links and things like that in the studio that has to be done in the next week or two. Tom, the producer, is still aiming to have everything finalised, up and ready and on TV by the end of September, early October. Which channel, you ask? Again, if you've not been catching up with the podcasts, then you probably won't know that we're not on Amazon Prime anymore. Amazon Prime, out of the blue, changed the conditions around what content they would allow. I think it was kind of getting saturated with all and sundry, and it was becoming a little bit like YouTube. So they've sort of put restrictions on that for the time being, just to try and tidy it all up a bit, which is fair enough. That left us in a little bit of a predicament, but we found a new home on the old Motors TV channel. Remember Motors TV? Don't think it was Men in Motors, but it was Motors TV. That's now become Motorsport TV, and that is where we're going to be housed. But don't forget, even if you don't have Motorsport TV, you will always be able to watch the entire series as well as Adventure Bike TV. You'll be able to watch all of that for free over on the Dunlop website. So make sure you head over there and you'll be able to watch my ugly mug as well as my colleagues Christy and Graham over there for free. So that is that. What else has been going on with me? Well, the podcast has been going from strength to strength, so a massive thank you to all of you who've been listening, watching, leaving reviews. That's a point. If you listen to the podcast over on Apple Podcasts, that's the only place where you can actually leave a review, I believe. Head over there to Apple Podcasts, search for Brew Time, B-R-U, Time, or TeapotOne Podcast. If you scroll right down to the very bottom, there'll be a little place there where you can leave a sort of 5-star, hopefully. You can leave a little rating and a review, and that goes a long way. A bit like likes, dislikes, comments and shares on YouTube. It goes a long way into sort of triggering the algorithm over there and letting the podcast gods know that this is a good podcast, people want to see it, so they'll share that out to a wider and wider audience. So if you could do that, that would be a massive help to yours truly. On the main channel, what's been going on? Well, I've had a fair few bikes this year so far to review. What would be my pick of bikes so far? Well, I mean, the new KTM Super Duke R is still I think, my poster bike at the moment. Although the thing did sort of break down on me after 2 rides. It just dumped all its coolant. There was a slight issue with a seal, just a little rubber grommet. But when I did ride that bike, I did quite a few miles on it and I absolutely loved it. That's still, I would say, is the bike that has my heart, that I would have an affair with. The tractor is still my go-to choice. Again, KTM, that new Super Adventure S, that's a pretty special machine. It really is, folks. I urge you to try one of them if you like your adventure style bikes. But again, just in terms of reliability, I would still elect to go with the old tractor for the complete package that comes with it. But anyway, let's not chat too much about GS's. What else? I've just done the review on the new Suzuki GSX S 1000. Seriously, folks, that is a special bike. I keep saying little bike, but it's not. It's 1000cc. It's an absolute weapon. £10,999. Not quite budget, but I suppose as far as these days go, that is sort of like a mid-range budget bike. Doesn't have all the bells and whistles like cruise control, but it does have blipper, quick shifter, and an incredible engine with a usable rev range. It was a real surprise for me. I wasn't expecting to like it because I seem to have moved away from inline 4s these days, apart from the S1000RR obviously. But that bike, wow, they've worked wonders with it. Good job, Suzuki. And apparently they're bringing out a touring version with a bit more of a screen and fairing. And judging by your comments on my review vid, that is the one that a lot of you will probably be holding out for. Which I kind of think is a bit of a shame, because I would have no issue touring on the S1000 myself personally, but you know, each to their own. In fact, stay tuned, because at some point I will be revealing a new addition to my garage. That's all I'm going to say on that. Plans for the future. Well, this is where I need your help, folks. Like, what do you want from the channel? What would you like to see? I mean, bike reviews, obviously I'll always be doing bike reviews, kit reviews, but essentially, what can you tell me? Why do you come to this channel? What is it that makes you come back to the channel? And if you're new to the channel, have a little look around at some of the vids and give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. I'm getting a little bit itchy feet. I'm feeling like I need to do something with the channel. I'm feeling like I want to make a couple of changes. I'm feeling like I want a bit more direction. I had this chap called Ed from a channel called Film Booth on the podcast recently, and Ed specialises in making channels grow, in helping YouTubers, content creators, really dial down, niche down on their content. I've booked myself a consultation with Ed in the next couple of weeks, so I'm going to be interested to see where we go with this and what he suggests. But I'm even more interested, sound like a really bad Sean Connery. I'm even more interested in hearing what you think. So please let me know in the comments. Tell me what you want from the channel, what you enjoy, what you don't like, everything like that. Be brutal, be honest, but don't just have a dig, because if you have a dig, I'll have a pop back, and that's just not a good place to be, is it? I'm all for open and honest dialogue, but if you're just going to have cheap shots, prepare for some coming back your way. Not that you would ever do that, but there are some idiots out there who do. And to be honest, sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I just have a pop back, so apologies. I have done that a couple of times with people, and hopefully I have apologised to you, because sometimes I take things the wrong way. It's human nature, folks. I'm sure if we were having a conversation face to face, we wouldn't have that issue, but when it's on social media, it's just part of the course, isn't it? So today I have simply whacked in a round trip on Kalimoto, and I'm just following it to see where we go. When you hit round trip, you don't actually have to go with the first choice that it gives you. You can actually cycle through choices any number of times. You just hit that little recycle button on the screen, and that just keeps throwing up options to you. I get a lot of people asking me questions about Kalimoto, and Kalimoto themselves, they have a sort of tutorial style series on their own channel, but it's in German. So they've asked if I will do one in English, so that is something I'm going to be starting very soon. So if you have any questions, queries, comments about Kalimoto, again, leave them in the comments and I'll do my best to integrate them into the vid series. Blimey, it's warm. 28 degrees it's saying. Whew. I have just changed tyres on here. I've now got the Dunlop Meridians. I had the Dunlop Mutants on here. There is a Dunlop theme, but Dunlop are the main sponsor of the TV show, Motorbike TV. So they asked if they could just supply us with rubber for the foreseeable. It's not like a brand endorsement type thing. They just want some feedback from us. They didn't ask for any reviews or social media content or anything like that. But I've done some, and as you know, I'll always give me honest feedback on them. And so far, you know, those Mutants, which are supposed to be their semi-road off-road tyre, I genuinely thought they were every bit as good as any other sort of sport touring tyre I've put on the GS. I even did 2 track days on them, did Brands Hatch and I did the California Superbike School, both of which are on film, so feel free to check them out. It's a nice little route, this, Cali. I don't think I've been here before. Nationals! Nationals, I get people asking, what's this Nationals thing all about? All it is, those signs that you see back there, if you're not from the UK, they are just national speed limit signs, which is either 60 or 70 miles an hour, depending on what the road is. You get that white circle with a black diagonal line. It's called the national speed limit sign, of which there are actually t-shirts available, so head to the shop and pick some of them up. Got to make a living, people. I've got to make a living. Blimey, this is warm. Speaking of making a living, a huge thank you to all of you over in the clan on Patreon. You folks have just been incredible. Since I announced that I was resigning from the old bill last year, the Patreon just went crazy. You folks have just been amazing. You've literally allowed me to do this full time with the help of some channel sponsors and sponsored content and merch sales and things like that, but I could not do it without you. So thank you so much, people. And all the questions that you never fail to send my way for the podcast. You've become the sort of meat and two veg of the podcast as well. So thanks very much for your participation there too. If you're interested in it, folks, patreon.com/TeapotOne. You don't have to. I'll always be producing content for free. However, your help, whether that's £1 a month, £50 a month, whatever you choose to do, is a huge help and massively appreciated. Anyway, right, sales pitch done and dusted. What else is happening? I had planned on going to Ireland at some point, either this month or next. But then I did Wild Bad Weekender and found out that Dickie Vegas was heading there and thought, well, I don't want to saturate the tubes with all the same content. I genuinely hate it when, like, PR teams and manufacturers, when they send bikes or kit to all content creators at the same time and we all produce content around the same thing. I hate it. It just waters it all down, and I really hate it when people just take the PR pack with all the pictures and images and regurgitate it. They do incredibly well for views, so I totally understand why people do it, but it's not my thing. So I try not to do the same as everybody else if I can. Sadly, that often means I arrive at the party very late and you don't get the big views and all that sort of malarkey. But, you know, it's my decision, isn't it? So anyway, yeah, Ireland decided I won't do yet. Road closed. Let's have a look and see. So Ireland is still on the cards. I'll be aiming to do that early next year, hopefully all going well. I'm off to the Canaries again in November, hopefully. Taking a group of lads away with Canary Motorcycle Tours, middle of November, so I cannot wait for that. Next year, my plan is, I doubt I'll be able to manage both, but my aim is to do a week either touring in the States on the bike and meet up with the likes of Chase on Two Wheels and try and get in touch with a lot of the other motovloggers over there and hook up with them, or India. I really have fancied India for quite a while. So I thought, let's see if we can arrange a week over there. Again, it's all finances and time dependent, but I've got a bit of time to save and a bit of time to plan. That's what I'm trying to do there. What about you folks? What would you like? What would you like to see from the channel in the next year? Obviously, I would love to smash the 100,000 subscriber mark. But bearing in mind I'm at about 56, 57,000 at the moment, I think we're looking at a good few years before that happens. However, you never know. You only need one vid at the end of the day. We shall see. If you enjoy the channel and you've currently subscribed, thank you very much. Make sure you tell everyone about it. Spread the word. It's all a massive help. I have just done a vid with lamb chops. We've got a new series that we're going to be starting soon called The Big Hunts. Yes, you heard that right. The Big Hunts. Episode 1 was Lamb Chop's idea. He's got the S1000RR on long-term loan at the moment, and he, much like me, is adamant that it's a sports tourer. It's not just a superbike. So he decided he wanted to do some big miles on it in a day, and thought what better way than heading to Cornwall in search of the best Cornish pasty. And he thought, who better to invite along, who likes miles and likes his food, than yours truly. It was epic, folks. I've seen the final cut. Chops has done a fantastic job, folks, he really has. And that vid's coming out this Sunday, I believe, so make sure you head across to Chops' channel and watch that. And if you haven't subscribed to Chops' channel, please do. He does some special vids, got some cracking content over there. Now my aim was literally to do like a 6 to 8 minute long vid. I think I've probably rabbited on a lot longer than that. Next couple of weeks is really busy with filming and my own filming, editing, etc, etc, etc. I'm going to be down at Nathan Millward's Dorothy's Speed Shop down in Devon next week. We're having an evening with TeapotOne next Thursday. So again, check out Nathan's socials, I'll leave links down below, and if you've seen this vid in time, make sure you come along, come and say hello. I'll be recording that for the podcast as well. Questions from the audience, I'll bore you about my little trip, and we'll have a chat with Nathan as well. Make sure you check out this next vid here, folks, but first and foremost, look after those that you love, get on out there and live your life. Woo-ha!